Alison, if you're at a loose end this bank holiday weekend, how about going to a festival in beautiful rural Wiltshire?
It is beautiful Wiltshire.
Sounds nice, but it's not just any party, is it?
No, this is the annual Fairy Festival, Rylan.
Live fairies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Real-life fairies from all over the UK are going to gather together to celebrate their magical powers.
Now, I'm sure you have a few questions, as do we, about what it takes to be a real-life fairy. Well, Karen Kay and Violet Skies are self-proclaimed fairies who have joined us today to share their secrets. Good morning, ladies. So lovely to see you.
Hi.
Right, Violet, let me start with you. There's going to be a lot of people watching this going, she all right? What's going on?
Fully aware.
Explain to us what it is you guys do and what you believe in and love doing.
So, for me, with the connection to the Fae and the fairies and the elementals, it's really about cultivating a connection and a reconnection to nature. So, the fairies and the elementals are the nature spirits and the guardians. And when we're little, everyone believes in the magic of fairies. And then when we move through our teen years and into adulthood, we kind of forget and we associate it with fantasy. You know, these things are put in movies, and then that kind of... I feel like that creates the idea that it's fantasy, but actually there's so much out there that we don't see because we don't take time to pause and connect. And for me, my connection to the fairies was about returning to nature and really taking time to drop into being and stillness. And when we take time to take a pause, because we live in a world where it's all go, 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 and we move from one place to another, and we never really... I know from my experience of how I used to live life, I never really dropped into the rest and the being and the stillness that I feel that I can achieve when I'm out in nature. So, yeah, connecting to nature, taking that time to really then tune into the surroundings and listen to what's around us when we switch off from all of the busyness of life.
I've got to say, you're incredibly calming to listen to. I've got a little toadstool here, we're on our rock, and I just forgot I was on the telly then. I was like...
But, Karen, you said you call yourself a fairy.
Well, I was called a fairy lady by a little girl in a supermarket, and I really liked it. So she instinctively recognised that within me.
And were you dressed like this when you say you were in the supermarket, just in your tracksuit doing the shopping?
I wasn't in my crown. It's not very practical in the supermarket, but I do tend to have sparkle in my hair, and I can't hide the fact that I've got fairy DNA.
Well, now, when we think about fairies, don't we? We think, you know, it's magic and spells and things like that.
I think of them leaving money under my pillow when I take my teeth.
True. I mean, yes, tooth fairy.
Yeah, tooth fairy.
But I think of, like dust and, fairies. Is that... Am I right? Am I wrong?
It is
magical.
The magic is definitely a major thing with fairies. They can shapeshift, they can make things happen. You can work with them to manifest things, but only if they want to. They do have egos, not exactly the same as us, but they definitely have their own individual personalities.
Have you ever seen them?
Yes.
You have?
Where?
Yes. I've seen them in Cornwall, where I live. I've seen them, well, a couple of times with the wings and everything, but usually I see them as points of light, and they kind of penetrate into this realm through...
And did they talk to you when you saw them?
Yeah, they talk to me. They
like physically talk like we're talking?
I hear it like this, but I hear it in my head, and you might say, oh, yeah, she's listening to the voices in her head. Well, I am, but it's not my own voice. I'm old enough to know the sound of my own internal voice. This comes with a feeling. I call it the fairy fizzes. You might call it the tingles. It comes in, it feels warm, and they inspire me with ideas to share their messages, to do the festivals.
And what would their messages be? I mean, have you seen them too?
Yeah. It started with, like I said, just like taking time out to reconnect to nature and seeing like faces in the trees and in the flowers, and then they began to appear as, like Karen said, like little twinkles. But it's kind of like, for me, fairies live in a different sort of realm to us, and it's about frequency and energy. So it's like there's only so much the human eye can see. And I don't know, we have this saying, like, seeing is believing, but I actually think that really limits us.
But would they be here? I mean, we're saying, you know, magical in the forest, you sit and look at the trees and the water.
Beautiful.
We're sitting in a TV studio with lights and a fake toadstool, but, you know, do you feel that there are fairies... Sorry to set design, it's marvellous. It's a marvellous toadstool. It's a marvellous toadstool. But, you know, do you feel that they follow you? Would you see them in here, for example? Can you see in them now?
They're everywhere.
Like, you
They
can
are
literally see
everywhere.
them.
I can see, obviously it's hard because there's studio lights, but there are lights in here, and fairies go where we go because they know that we're sharing the fairy message, if you like, a positive PR for fairies, because they've had a bad press over the years.
Their last PR company were terrible. Honestly.
And, yeah, so they are everywhere. They're usually around plants, like actual plants. Every plant will have a fairy energy. And around people as well, especially people that love and care for the environment. And that is prevalent at the moment, isn't it, in the news? So the fairies are coming in big time. And it's not only us that they communicate with. They can communicate with anybody and everybody who opens their heart and your mind. You've got to have an open mind because very often people don't.
So what about what happens at the festival then? So when people come to the festival, if they're interested in this and they don't know anything about it really, what will be happening in Avebury?
Yeah,
this
so
weekend?
in Avebury this weekend there's going to be fairy stalls where people that basically live a fairy lifestyle create. It's a very creative community.
Quite crafty.
Very crafty, yeah. They're always creating, painting, making sculptures and things like this. They'll be there. There'll be workshops. Violet's going to be doing a beautiful fairy drumming workshop around...
Fairy drumming?
Yeah,
What's
around
that?
the Avebury
Doing some
stands.
like drumming, and we'll sing songs in circle.
Is that to call the fairies up?
Yeah, and as like an offering to the land, because we're out on sacred land, so it's like as an offering, say thank you for being on this land.
What I really want to know is, I've got, believe it or not, I'm really open to things like this, but if I wanted to see or something like, what should I be looking out for?
I can give you a little 30-second little taster
Go on.
for you and the viewers, if
on.
you like.
What we should
right,
do?
you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Get comfortable.
Hang on,
Take
put
a
my
deep
trousers-
breath. Nice deep breath. And if you wish to close your eyes, you may. It helps you get in the vibe. And then imagine yourself walking down a golden path and you see a golden fairy door. There's a key in the door. You reach out your hand in your mind and turn the key and the door opens. As you walk through the door, you see a giant oak tree. You walk towards the tree and you decide to sit down with your back firmly against the tree. And then you say, in your mind or out loud, "Fairies, fairies, come to me as I sit beneath this tree."
Fairies, fairies, come to me as I sit beneath this tree.
And then you just wait for the energy to come in and just observe any sensations, any feelings, any sense of calm that might come over you, any twinkles, anything at all.
I had to open my eyes because I think I would have went then.
Yeah, you do. It's easy to go away with the fairies.
Fell in a bush.
Away with the fairies.
Away with
They
the fairies.
use that
Let
away
me
with
bring
the
you back
fairies.
properly, though, in case the viewers are doing it. So then when you've done that, you get yourself up, you go back through the golden door, you close the door, you turn the key, and you come back to where you're sitting or standing.
It's nice just to take a moment. It's
It's
just
meditation in a way,
Believing
isn't
and
it?
Yes.
seeing.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, listen, we wish you all the best with it. We
Thank
really, really do.
you.
If we weren't busy, we'd come. I'd love to go down there, wouldn't you?
Oh, it's
Yeah, I
so
think
much
you'd fit
fun.
in
I'd love
well.
it.
Let
I
me
think
say,
you'd
I
fit in well.
do one in Cornwall, in Glastonbury. I do them all over the UK.
We'll
they're
definitely
very
come down
popular.
sometime.
Yeah,
very
they are.
popular.
They are.
Well, good luck
Thank
with
you
everything.
very much.
you.
Lovely
Thank
to see you.
Have a lovely
It's
weekend.
quite
It's
calming,
earthy.
isn't it? Yeah.
Fairy wishes.
Fairy wishes. He's always been away with the fairies, as they say.
Yeah, I have.
Best place to be.
Thank you so much, ladies.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.